Number 50 is similar to Delmise, in that it's a ghost possessing an inanimate object. However, its other type is steel, and it hails from Kalos. That's right, kicking off the top half is Aegislash. Again, Aegislash is a ghost possessing a big sword and shield. This is quite a clever and epic design concept, since swords are just so cool. It's also got some cool features, like its eye, arms, hilt, and blade. Now let's talk about battling skills. Depending on its form, Aegislash's stats vary. Either way, its base stat total is 520, which is very high, and when in shield form, it has sky-high defenses, with everything else being substantially low. However, when in blade form, its offenses are sky-high, again, with everything else being low. So either way, its stats are highly polarized. Aegislash only has one ability, which is stance change. This makes it change from shield form to blade form if using an attack move, or vice versa if using King Shield. Now for Aegislash's move pool, it's not entirely big, but it is somewhat diverse, even enough for weakness coverage. Ghost will cover itself, and it can use Sacred Sword for dark, and water type hidden power for ground and fire. In the anime, Sawyer's got an Aegislash, but sadly, it's got way more losses than wins. But forget that. Aegislash has a both unique and effective battling style, and its design is both awesome and clever, and that's quite enough to earn it 50th place. I am huge. I am made of ice. A part of me floats above the ocean's surface. I am a cruise ship's worst enemy. There is a Pokemon based off of me, and this Pokemon is number 49. That's right, I am an iceberg, and said Pokemon is Avalon. The iceberg just said, Avalon is based off an iceberg with a head and legs. Quite unusual, but nonetheless cool. But that's all, nothing else I can really say, so let's move right into battling skills. Avalon's got a BST of 514, which is great, and does anything stand out here? How about that massive defense stat? It also has high attack and HP, so physically, it's both a wall and a tank. Avalon's ability possibilities are Own Tempo, Ice Body, and Sturdy. They're all useful, so, you know, your choice. Now for Avalon's move pool, it's big, but not the most diverse one out there, and as such, for weakness coverage, Avalon's not that good. For all but one, it can use Earthquake, but for the last one, fighting, it has nothing. You could go with hidden power, but Avalon has bad special attack, so no, I wouldn't. But apart from that, Avalon is good in battle and has a cool design. So with that, I'd say it earns 49th place. Number 48 is based on a frog, is from Sinnoh, and is a poison and fighting type. That's right, it's Toxicroak. Toxicroak, again, is a frog, and maybe a ninja. I mean, it's got those bandages, the claws on the back of its hands, poison sac, and those cool looking eyes. Sorry, that's all No, wait, Toxicroak and Croagunk, its pre-evolution, are currently the only poison and fighting types. Hey, I tried. Now for battling skills, Toxicroak's BST is 490, which is good, and it's got high attack and low defenses, with the rest being decent and balanced. Now for Toxicroak's abilities, it's got Anticipation, Dry Skin, and Poison Touch. Anticipation doesn't have that much use, and Dry Skin is good, but apart from the HP gaining and immunity to water, it doesn't have that much use either. So I think the smartest choice is Poison Touch, especially with its high attack stat. Now for Toxicroak's move pool, it's both big and quite diverse, and yes, it's enough for type coverage. Ice Punch can cover flying and ground, and X-Scissor can cover psychic. In the anime, Brock has a Croagunk, which he never evolved. Bummer. But he was funny though. I mean, hitting Brock in the ass with Poison Jab when he flirted too much. But Saturn's got a Toxicroak. I guess that's worth noting. You know, since the thing's pretty dang tough. But in this case, the anime's not really important. Anyway, Toxicroak's got a badass design and is great in battle, so 48th place is quite fitting for it. '47th place is a fan favorite. Heck, it always has been, ever since it was first introduced. It's also appeared in a few other games outside the main series, like Super Smash Bros. And Pokémon Tournament. It also has one of the best anime portrayals out there. That's right, coming in at 47th place is the man, the myth, the legend, Pika! Lucario. As I said earlier, I've always loved dogs, and Lucario is both that and a warrior. Of course I'm gonna love something like that. Lucario also has some nice features, like its ears, eyes, black mask, black hairs, if that's even what they are, spikes, paws, and even tail. In a nutshell, Lucario's design is very epic, but even more so are its battling skills. Its BST is a solid 525, and it has high offenses and speed, thus functioning well as a mixed sweeper. Lucario, for abilities, can have Steadfast, Inner Focus, or Justified. Justified would work better if Lucario were weak to Dark, and Steadfast is good, but I think the best choice is Inner Focus. Lucario also boasts a very big and diverse move pool, and yes, it's big and diverse enough for weakness coverage. It can use Psychic for fighting and Water Pulse for grounded fire. So, yeah, it can't be any better than this. Except it can. Lucario can Mega Evolve. In doing so, it gets small buffs to all stats except HP and special defense, so it's just a bit better at sweeping, with slightly more bulk to aid it. Mega Lucario also has a new adaptability ability. No, wait. Anyway, this is very useful, since it makes Lucario hit even harder when using stab attacks, and its design is cool, but I don't really like it any more or less than regular Lucario's. In the anime, so many people own a Lucario. Maylene, Riley, Cameron, Karina, and each one of them is extremely strong. I mean, Cameron's took down half of Ash's team with little help, and Maylene's took down Ash's whole team, although with a little more help. So yeah, as you can clearly see, Lucario is epic in many aspects, and therefore, 47th place is the least I can offer it. Lucario, stay epic, buddy. Before Gen 6, I've always wanted there to be a Pokemon based on a ninja. Ninjas are so cool that it almost pains me knowing that Game Freak can make Pokemon based off of things as trivial as gears, ice cream cones, garbage bags. Sorry to typecast you, Gen 5, but they can't seem to make ones based off of things as cool as ninjas. If I see the word Ninjask anywhere in the comments, I'll secret ninja attack you. Hint hint. However, come Gen 6, we were given Greninja. Sorry, another ninja frog, but can you blame me? If you're being developed in Super Smash Bros. Before your game even comes out, you must be doing something right. Well, Greninja does pretty much everything right. Design, battling skills, and actually, that's pretty much it. Let's start with design. It's so flipping cool, since, again, it's both a frog and a ninja. And just look at that tongue scarf.
Inconceivable.
Now it's time for battling skills. Its BST is 530, which is very high, and it's got high speed and offenses, thus working well as a mixed sweeper. Although it's a little better as a special one. Greninja can have either Torrent or Protean for abilities. Protean is good, but it's a bit risky, so I find Torrent the safer choice. Hey, I didn't say better. Greninja's move pool is quite big and diverse, but sadly, it's not enough for type coverage. Of Greninja's 5 weaknesses, Aerial Ace will neutralize 3 of them, but the other 2, Electric and Fairy, don't share a weakness, so you'll be forced to pick. But once you do, Ground Hidden Power can cover Electric, and Gunk Shot can cover Fairy. It can't get much better than this, right? Wrong! Greninja has a third ability, which I purposely didn't mention earlier, Battle Bond. When a Greninja with this ability defeats a Pokemon, it'll change into a form called Ash Greninja. Once done, its new BST is 640, which is astronomical, and it gets 2 huge boosts to its offenses, and a small one to speed, thus making it a much better sweeper. Also, every Ash Greninja should know the move Water Shuriken, since with Battle Bond, the move is much more powerful. But in terms of design, it just looks a bit like Ash, so not that special. Speaking of Ash, in the anime, he used to own a Greninja, who just happened to be a freaking beast in battle. But when he released him, I raged so hard. But let's try to maintain a positive tone. Both Greninja and Ash Greninja are freaking epic in battle and have freaking epic designs. So it freaking earns freaking 46th place freaking easily. Freaking. Do you like golems? If so, I'm sure you'll love number 45 because it's, wait for it, Gollurk. If you thought it was Golem, you thought wrong. Anyway, Gollurk is a golem, as I just heavily implied, with a large size and Actually, that's about it. Well, I'll bet you didn't know, Gollurk can fly. Also, if the seal on its chest is removed, it goes berserk. Alright, fine, I'll stop stalling. Gollurk's BST is 483, which is good, and it has high attack with decent defenses and HP. Yeah, these stats may not be perfect, but they're far from bad. Gollurk's ability possibilities are Iron Fist, Clutch, and No Guard. No Guard is a huge gamble, and I find Clutch ultimately useless, so by process of elimination, I choose Iron Fist. This does work well anyway, since Gollurk can learn quite a few punching moves. Now for Gollurk's move pool, it's both big and quite diverse, but sadly, not enough so to allow for weakness coverage. You'll have to pick just one to leave out, but after you do, Ghost covers itself, yet again, and it can use Thunder Punch for water, Fire Punch for grass and dice, and a fighting move for dark. So Gollurk is pretty good in battle, and it has a really cool design, and that's what makes me give it 45th place. How do you feel about gangsters? If you like them, then you'll likely like number 44, who just happens to be Scrappy. Scrappy is both a lizard and a hoodlum, although it looks a bit more like a human than a lizard. But no matter how you look at it, Scrappy looks really cool. What with those pants, hood, mohawk, and maybe its tail. Now onto battling skills. Already, Scrappy has a BST of 488, which is good, and it has high defenses with good attack as well. So it can hit hard, physically, and take lots of hits while doing so. Scrappy, for abilities, has access to Shed Skin, Moxie, and Intimidate. These are all very useful, so I'll leave choosing the best one to you. Scrappy's move pool is both big and diverse, but once again, it's not enough for type coverage, since none of its weaknesses are weak to the same type. But once you pick which ones to deal with, Poison Jab can cover Fairy, Ice Punch or a Rock move can cover Flying, and Zen Headbutt can cover Fighting. Now for the anime, Ash has a Scraggy, which he never evolved, but honestly, I like Ash's Scraggy, so it doesn't piss me off that much. Anyway, Scrappy works well in battle and has a badass design, so this thug easily earns himself, or possibly herself, 44th place.
I'm an owl. I'm also from Alola. That's right, I'm not Noctowl. I'm Decidueye. Who doesn't have a voice this high-pitched?
Decidueye is both a huge owl and an archer. You heard right, an owl and a freaking archer.
Inconceivable.
It has quills, which it uses for arrows, and launches them with the green vines coming out of its chest. Do I even need to say it? This is extremely awesome and epic. I also like how it can use its hood as a scope and take aim. Yeah, overall, this design is extremely awesome and epic. Again, now for battling skills, Decidueye's BST is a high 530, and it's got high offenses and special defense, with the rest being well balanced, so it could work as a special tank, or just an offensive powerhouse. Decidueye can have either overgrow or long reach for an ability, and they're both quite useful, so I can't decide, so you decide. No, you Decidueyed. Heh heh. Decidueye's move pool is both big and quite diverse, even enough for weakness coverage. Finally, yet again, Ghost covers itself, and it can use Low Sweep for Dark, and Rock Hidden Power for everything else. Now for the anime, I'm sure you all know Ash has a Rowlet, which I desperately hopes he evolves all the way to Decidueye. So do you have the eye to see? 2 for 2! Decidueye's got an epic design and potent battling skills, so with no hesitation, I bestow upon it 43rd place. You know what would be so cool to have? X-ray vision. Yeah, number 42 is Luxray. Luxray resembles a big cat, specifically a lynx or lion. I love big cats since they're so cool looking and strong, and Luxray is the perfect representation of this. It also looks really cool, with its black hair, tail, and especially its eyes. Luxray's also got my tongue, since I'm all out of design stuff to say, so it's time for battling skills already. Luxray's BST is 523, which is very high, and most of this goes into attack, with high special attack and everything else being decent. and balanced. Luxray's abilities are Rivalry, Intimidate, and Guts. Rivalry is a gamble, so I'd go with either Intimidate or Guts. Luxray's move pool is fairly big, but not terribly diverse. But in terms of weakness coverage, it's not a big deal, since electric types only have one weakness, Ground. All Luxray needs is Ice Fang. In the anime, Clement has a Luxray, which is pretty strong, I guess. Luxray sports both a badass design and strong battling skills, so I'd say it easily earns 42nd place. No matter how jealous I am of that X-ray vision, which I could really use right now to find a time-killing epilogue. Sorry, another water starter, except this one's got a signature item. That's right, 41 is none other than Samerrata. Samerrata is a mix between a sea lion and a samurai. Very epic, huh? Well, I guess it'd be more epic if it were bipedal, but it could definitely be worse. Samerrata's also got a few cool features, like its spear helmet, mustache, well, if male, and especially its C-mitters. And the sheaths, less notably. In short, very epic and badass design. Battling skills time. Samerrata's BST is a high 528, with high offenses and HP and decent defense. Samerrata's possibilities, sorry, same joke again, are Torrent and Shell Armor. They're both useful, so once again, your pick. Now for Samerrata's move pool, it's somewhat big and diverse. And yes, it's enough for weakness coverage. It has several options for grass, such as Mega Horn, Aerial Ace, Ice Beam, and more. And it can use Ground's hidden power for electric. In the anime, Ash has an Oshawott, which he never evolved. As much as I like Ash's Oshawott, even I can't deny that he should have evolved him, since, you know, he's kind of a weakling. No offense, Oshawott. Well, Cameron's got a Samerrata. I guess that's better than nothing. Samerrata's got a very epic design and is great in battle, so 41st place is all it's.